All right, Morning Sun Podcast. We are back. I'm your host, TJ Two Braids. As always, I'll wait for a few people to pop up. Then I'll hit play on the audio. Check it, 1, 2. So, this is the Morning Sun Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Two Braids. This is episode 9. So, we 9 episodes into the Morning Sun Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Anchor FM. And Anchor FM is a free app where you could make your own podcast if you wanted to. But yeah, once again, this is episode 9. Today we're going to be talking about several topics. This will also be the first podcast I don't talk about sports, hopefully. But we're going to be talking about the need for more native leaders and visionaries. We'll have a second segment where we'll talk about life hacks. And the third segment will be around Santa Claus and Christmas. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about when I gave up a record deal. Not recently, but in the past. So, we need more native leaders. Why do I say that? Why do I start the podcast off with this? First of all, if you're watching, this is on Facebook Live. And from there, it'll go on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor FM. Everywhere podcasts are found. Follow us on Instagram at The Morning Sun Podcast. If you like this video, like it, share it, comment, DM us some topics. We got a special guest coming soon. His name's Riley Carpenter, and he's an awesome young man. He will be on the show probably next time. But we need more native leaders, more native visionaries. What do I mean by that? Why do I bring it up? I saw a post recently that I reposted on Instagram. I don't think I posted it on Facebook, but it said basically we need more native chefs, more native actors, more native business owners, more native doctors, more native politicians, and etc. And you think about that, the state of Native America, where it's at. And what up, John? I know I would be at open gym, except I got my son with me, and I didn't want to lock him in a stroller for a couple hours. But I'll be there soon. But we need more native leaders. Me personally, I've been to dozens of reservations. As a kid with my father, and then in my own life as an adult, man, I've been to I don't know how many reservations. Probably 50, 60, maybe more, give or take. I've been to almost every state. I've been to a native community or multiple native communities in almost every state. I've met a lot of talented, gifted, smart, intellectual, brilliant, young native people. And old too, but young too. And so basically, man, I've seen athletes, phenomenal athletes. You think about a native athlete. Let's say a native athlete grows up on the res, and he's a phenomenal. For instance, I was in Newtown, North Dakota, and if you was on OE with us this year, you can vouch for me. You can merch, as the young homie said. You can merch that. We met these two twins. They were like 15 or 16. They were about 6'6", 280 pounds. Not fat, but just solid. They said they were boxers. They were football players. They were basketball players. We were on a ministry team who just happened to challenge each community to a game of basketball, and we were a good team. Now, of course, we weren't a basketball team, right? But we were good. We had a lot of good hoopers, and no community we did outreach on beat us that year until we went to Newtown, North Dakota. But just for instance, these dudes said they were Golden Glove boxers. They were phenomenal athletes. You could just tell. But you think about that. A native athlete grows up on the res, is phenomenal. Think of, 6'6", 280 pounds, solid power forward material, right? Solid offensive tackle material. They have no outlets. They have no resources. They have lack of resources. Who's going to recruit them, right? Who's going to recruit them? And these were twin brothers. When I was in Seattle, there was Lodrick and Roderick Stewart. They were twins who played for Rainier Beach. Two black dudes. Phenomenal athletes. They lived in the city of Seattle, so they could get recruited all over the place. And they went to play for USC basketball. But you think of two native kids, 6'6", 280, solid athletes. No D1 person's probably going to scout them on the res. So it's not that there's a lack of native leaders. Yes, there's a lack of native entrepreneurs. Yes, a lack of native business owners. Yes, but yet at the same time, there's also a lack of resources. So it's double fold. It's not necessarily that there aren't native people who want to rise up and fill those vacancies and pursue their dreams and passions and succeed and overachieve in life. But at the same time, there's lack of resources. That's just athletic wise. You know what I'm saying? Now you think about other areas. I've met phenomenal native artists who can paint, draw, bead, right? Beadwork, all types of different things. And it could go back to lack of resources. It could go a number of ways. There are native people I know in my life now who are very talented, who have a lot of, whether it's athletic ability, whether it's smarts, intellect, passions, dreams, who for one reason or another seem to be squandering that away because maybe they're afraid of failure. Maybe they feel like they don't want to leave their family or community behind and be viewed as a sellout. Maybe they just simply don't believe in themselves. It could be low self-esteem. It could be a number of things that I could talk about, in my opinion, on why there's a lack of native leaders, entrepreneurs, visionaries, right? We look at visionaries, people who don't just succeed in life, but they have a vision, right? You look at someone like Jay-Z or Dr. Dre, right? Visionary, came from the struggle, not only was successful, but became a visionary, right? So another thing I would say is, it boils down to this. We as native people, we also need more supporters. We need more. So if you're native and your homie is a good hooper who should go play college basketball, we need more people to support him in that, right? And not bring him down, not introduce him to drugs, not try to party with him every weekend, whatever it is. If your native homie, or let's say you have a friend who's into beadwork, a native woman, native teen, whoever it could be, say, hey, like I told my wife, I said, you like to bead? You make good beadwork? You make keychains? Keychains are useful? Why not start your own mini business? It's not going to be our sole source of income, but it's something fun. It's an easy way to make a few extra bucks. You can give them away as gifts if you want, whatever, So she started her own Instagram. It's called Art by Summer Sky. She makes super dope keychains and lanyards and necklaces and earrings. Is it going to be our sole source of income? No. I mean, would it be cool if it blew up in that way? Obviously, of course. But as me, I need to come alongside her and say, if you're passionate about that, go ahead and try it. What's the worst that could happen? Right? So we need more supporters. We need people to encourage, not discourage, not hate on, not have the crab in the bucket mentality. When I was in college, first of all, when I left the hood and the streets, I felt a sense of animosity towards me. Not from everyone, but from certain people, right? And then when I went to college, I felt it, you know, because people, at the end of the day, no matter what you do, people is going to hate on you in life. And sometimes it be the closest people to you, unfortunately. But, and maybe it's jealousy, maybe it's resentment, maybe it's the fact that they have dreams they're not pursuing, they have education they knew they should have pursued that they didn't. They made wrong choices in their life, and whatever it is, there could be a number of things, and that's not really the point. The point is just we need more people to support us, right? So when I was in college, I remember I showed up to the Minneapolis American Indian Center to hoop. I had I had a presentation for class, right? So I dressed nice, you know, had some dress clothes on, dress shirt, slacks, dress shoes. Rolled in the gym, and you know, the homies. And here's the thing, don't take it the wrong way. I can take jokes. I like to joke with people. You know, I'm always roasting people and things like that. So it wasn't that I'm butthurt about it, right? It's just pointing out a fact, though. But I come in and they're like, yo, whoa, what you think, you a scholar or something, homie? Right? And they trying to roast me because, you know, I'm wearing dress clothes. And it's all funny, ha, yeah. But then I went home and I thought about it. Not that I was hurt, because I could care less, you know. If you know me, you know I don't really care what people think about me. I just don't. I just am who I am. I'm confident in who I am. And if you like me, you like me. Cool. If you don't, you don't. But I went home and thought about that. And I'm like, why would they be mad I'm a scholar? Why would they laugh that I'm a scholar, right? What's wrong with being a scholar? Maybe they don't know any native scholars. I don't know. Am I a native scholar? I don't know, right? Instead of encouraging me, hey, why you dressed in business casual, right? Why you got dress clothes on? What's going on? They didn't care about the fact that I had a presentation. They didn't ask me if I did good, if I passed the class, right? How's my grades going in college? All they knew was, yo, why this dude coming in looking like Urkel, right? So, and I mean, I can laugh about it because I personally don't even wear dress clothes a ton. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But it's just a simple, practical example of how we need more supporters. Encourage people to pursue their dreams. And more importantly than encouraging them with words, encourage them with your actions. Hold them accountable, right? So I have a young man that I mentor, and he says, I need a job. I say, okay, well, let me help you get a job. So I pull some strings. I ask my homie to come over to where I work, and he's going to give them a job, right? Working at a radio station. So then this young man who I'm mentoring, he don't show up. Multiple times he don't show up to the meetings to fill out the job application. Now, mind you, he's pretty much guaranteed the job. All he has to do is fill out the application and submit it. So then I finally see him, I track him down, and I say, look, I'm not trying to come down on you, right? I'm just trying to hold you accountable to what you told me you needed. You told me that you needed a job, and that you wanted a job, and that you want to work, and that's a good thing. So when I go try to find you a job, and then you dodge all the meetings, that's irresponsible. I'm vouching for you, right? So you let me know how I can help you. If you don't want me to help you find a job, I ain't got nothing against you, right? I'm here to support you in whatever way I can. All I'm going strictly off of is what you told me that you needed help with, right? Assistance with. And so when you told me you needed a job, I said, I would be more than happy to help you secure employment, right? Now, if you're no longer looking for work, that's your personal business, right? I can't change your mindset and mentality. So just let me know. If you don't want a job right now, it's cool. I ain't got nothing against you. I'm not going to hold it against you. Just let me know. And then I won't pursue that avenue with you, if that makes sense. So when we support people, we don't want to just support them with our words. A lot of times we confuse what support is healthy support. And we say, oh, yeah, man, go off and do it. Oh, yeah, you're dope. Yeah, it's all good. But then we don't really help them and hold them accountable, right? If someone says that they want to go to college, then they sit around all day, play video games. They don't fill out their FAFSA, their forms, That's not holding them accountable by saying, one day you'll get there, man. You're real talented. You're real smart. It's all good, right? And I know, I get it. It's hard to hold certain people accountable. And you want to have a balance. You don't want to sever that relationship or make someone resent you or put a wall in between you. So there's ways you got to go about it, but it has to be more than just, I support you with my voice. Because we can say a lot of things with our mouths, right? That we don't ever mean or we don't really do with our hands and our feet or with our resources. So that's just something to think about, man. In traveling North America, man, I've seen so many talented indigenous people. And my prayer is and always will be that Native people will rise up and become leaders, visionaries, politicians. Man, wouldn't it be dope to have a Native president, right? I'm sure nobody ever thought we'd have a black president. It happened, right? I'm sure nobody thinks we'd ever have a Native president. You don't know. Maybe we can, right? Maybe we can have more Native professional athletes, NBA players, NFL players. Maybe we can have more Native doctors, chefs, business owners, TV shows, right? And so that's just something to think about, And with that wraps up segment 1. This is the Morning Sun Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Two Braids. This is brought to you by Anchor FM. Download it, man. Check it out. Follow us. This will be on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, whatever. At the Morning Sun Podcast. And like I said, we'll have a special guest on the next show. His name's Riley. He's my homie. Really solid, intellectual, smart dude. Solid brother, man. So that'll be dope. But getting into the second segment. This one's called AAA Lifehack. This is the AAA Lifehack, okay? So, I don't really have more life hacks than one. I know I said I would talk about life hacks, but this is a pretty solid life hack if you ask me. Well, this is like a double whammy. This is 2 life hacks in one. Okay? So, first of all, God is still doing miracles because on Friday night and Saturday night, we had 5 hours of babysitting each night, and we were kidless on a weekend 2 days in a row for the first time since we had kids. So look, the plan is on Saturday we're going to go Christmas shopping, right? We're going to get all the presents we need to get for the kids, for each other, for our Secret Santa that we're doing as a family. And then we're going to get a quick bite to eat. And then we're going to come home and we're going to wrap the presents in peace without kids, right? So we get all the shopping done. We're like, okay, we get in the car. We're leaving Target. We're like, okay, where are we going to go eat? I go to turn the ignition. Bro, it won't turn. It's stuck. The steering wheel won't move. The key won't move. At this point, I'm heated, right? Because I'm hungry. I don't know about you, but when you barely ate all day and then you can't eat, you get kind of angry a little bit, right? So, you try all these things. You wiggle the steering wheel. You wiggle the steering wheel and the key, right? You get angry and you try to force it, right? You Google it. I was even looking at Google. It was telling me if none of this works, take the whole steering column apart and step by step, I'll show you how to take the lock out. And I'm like, whoa. But luckily, life hack number 1. This ain't really a life hack, but if you don't have this and you drive, something wrong with you. You need to get AAA. So I got AAA, $99 a year. AAA will tow you, I think, like 3 to 5 times, up to 100 miles, no cost. They'll help you with roadside assistance and all that. So AAA comes, right? And luckily, I mean, it did put a wrench in our plan. We didn't get to accomplish everything we wanted to last night in the time frame that we tried to. But AAA comes, and I'm not playing. The dude pulls up, and in 10 seconds, he got the steering column free and unlocked. And he said, here, this is what you got to do. This is what the internet won't tell you, right? Because I done tried everything else by this time. He's like, this is what you got to do. The internet didn't tell you. You got to hold the steering wheel with your left hand. Now, on the video, I don't know if this looks like my right hand, but this is my left hand. You hold the steering wheel with your left hand, right? And then with your right, you put the key in, and with your right hand, and he grabbed like he grabbed one of those multi-use tools. And for sake of whatever, I'll just use this remote. He says you grab something hard. It could be a pliers, a hammer, a multi-use tool, whatever it is. You grab it, right? You hold the steering wheel like this. You put the key in. Now you're going to also wiggle the key with this hand. He says, and then you tap real hard on the key. And boom, it was in. And the crazy thing is, it only took 10 seconds. So that's a life hack. If you ever get your steering column locked, you don't know what to do, you can't get it free, and by some reason after this video you don't have AAA, which would be $99 a year, that's what? I can't even do the math right now. But you don't have AAA after this video. That's your problem, number one. But number two, your steering column gets locked. You don't know what to do. You don't want to call a tow truck. Remember, with this arm, you wiggle the key and you tap at the same time. And what's crazy is, we went to get something to eat. We came out. The steering column was locked again. And I said, okay, I'm finna put this man's life hack to the test. And sure enough, it works. Now I gotta go get some, what did he tell me to get? Dried graphite or something and put in there. He also said, do not spray WD-40 in the keyhole. He said that would just gum it up. It'll attract dirt and lint. He says the internet tells you to do that. That's dumb. Don't do that. So that's another life hack. He said put dried graphite in there because that's the best for those types of things. So that's a life hack, man. Number one, get AAA if you don't have it, $99 a year. Number two, if your steering column locks, I just showed you the technique, how to unlock it. And number three, don't use DW40, WD-40, whatever it's called. Dry graphite, okay? Yeah. So, as my son Thomas is getting up. All right, boy. Daddy. I'm here. Shh, quiet. Daddy. So, the third segment is going to be on Santa Claus. Now, this is more of a humorous one, and I'll share a couple stories. But, did you ever believe in Santa Claus? Okay? If you want, you can take a second and comment. Comment yes or no, or I still believe in Santa. If you still believe in Santa, I'm finna pray for you. But, did you ever believe in Santa Claus? And if so, at what age was the truth revealed that he was not real? Not right now, baby. Not right now. No. No. Shh. You want to come on the video? No. We're not going to eat right now. In a little bit, baby. So, when did you believe in Santa Claus, and at what age did the truth become revealed to you? Me, I don't think I ever believed in Santa Claus. I was just so smart from birth that I knew he was fake. No, I'm just playing with you. But no, my parents made sure to never believe in Santa Claus, really. And number two, think about this. I don't get all the parents who encourage Santa Claus. Bro, I worked all year for them gifts, right? Look at these gifts. I got a gift right here. Look at this. Bro, I worked all year for this gift. I paid for this gift. Santa Claus did not go to work when he was tired to pay for this gift, right? Santa Claus did not do the work. I did it. Okay? So why are we giving Santa Claus the credit? Ain't that crazy? Have you ever thought about that? Thank you, baby. Now my son giving me all the gifts. Baby, Daddy bought you this gift. Santa Claus did not buy you this gift, okay? It says right here, from Daddy and Mommy. So number one, that's just crazy, right? We giving Santa Claus all the credit for our hard work, right? But number two, I'll tell you a funny story about this. I remember my niece Keisha. If she watches this, I'm sorry for putting you on blast. She probably won't, but I don't know. My sister Tina's daughter. Okay, so we're sitting around at Christmas one time. Keisha got to be like between 8 to 10 years old, okay? And we talking about Santa Claus. And then my niece Tatiana. Now, number one, if you ever met my niece Tatiana, she hilarious. She also will just say whatever's on her mind. But she like, yeah, we talking about Santa Claus, and she's like, I can't believe I thought Santa was real. I was so dumb for that, right? And Keisha's like, she got that look on her face like, wait, what? Wait, what? It was in that moment she realized Santa Claus was not real. She couldn't even come to that discovery on her own. Her cousin, my niece, other niece, had to ruin it for her. So that's just kind of funny, but I will never forget her face and then how she tried to play off. Because then Tatiana's like, wait, you didn't think Santa was real, did you? And she like, oh, no. You ever seen someone try to play it off? They're like, oh, wait, no, I was just playing. I was just playing. No, you wasn't just playing. You was dead serious. But did you ever believe in Santa? And at what age was the truth revealed to you? And number two, man, don't be giving Santa all that credit. That boy be getting too much credit. So, Thomas, one second, y'all. Thomas, come here, boy. Now. What are you doing? Get over here. My son, man. He's a naughty boy. Come on. Close the gate. Now. Close the gate for Daddy. Thank you. So now we're going to get into the last segment. This is the Morning Sun Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Two Braids. The last segment I want to talk about today is when I gave up a record deal. A lot of people, close the gate for Daddy, please. Close it. Close it. A lot of people think the pinnacle of music is getting a record deal. And for the most part it is. But after going through this experience, and this really wasn't even that bad of a case compared to what I've heard and other people have told me personally. But at what cost are we willing to get a record deal? Now, if you're watching this or you're going to watch this or you're listening to it on Spotify or Anchor or wherever you're viewing this, if you haven't heard my music, feel free to check it out. I got a new EP that's about to drop soon. It's called See the Light. There's 4 tracks on it, all mixed and mastered by myself. So this year I taught myself how to record, mix, and master. So maybe you like my music, maybe you don't, right? I'm not offended if you don't like my music. I personally think that I can rap good. Better than a lot of people who are famous rappers. Do I think I'm the greatest rapper ever? No, I don't. But so you think about that. At what cost do we get a record deal? So I had a person approach me one time, and they came to see me at a show, and afterwards, they were, man, you perform well. You have great stage presence. You control the crowd. The way that your voice, so I'm like a built-in microphone, all right? My voice projects. And one thing that people have always said about my music is that they can understand all the words when I rap. So there's a lot of, and I rap, I've worked on rapping faster. I've gotten better at that. But just pronunciation, right? you can sound super dope, but if I don't know what you're saying, what's the point of listening to the music, right? So after the show, this person, I won't name them because that's not important, but they're like, yo, you have great stage presence. You put on a good show. Your voice projects super dope. I'd like to meet with you to talk about potentially, like a record deal and whatnot. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I take everything with a grain of salt, though. So I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I don't count all that. I'm not going to count my eggs before they hatch. I was like, it is what it is. Maybe this is, I've always prayed. My prayer is, God, may the people that need to hear my music hear it. If you want me to be famous, whatever. But my goal is not to be famous. My goal is not to, get a Lamborghini and iced out jewelry. I don't even wear jewelry. I'd probably get a beaded medallion, if anything. But, so I go and meet with them, and they're like, what we want to do is we want to record a 6-song EP with you. We're going to take you to work with some of the top producers in the state. Now, they were saying people like Prince's producer, and, maybe we'd even go to Prince's studio and all of these different things. And I'm thinking at the time, I'm taking everything with a grain of salt, remember. I'm like, is this dude for real, right? Maybe he's lying. I don't know. I don't know this dude that well, right? But we keep meeting, periodically, once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. And little by little, I come to realize, like, this dude is connected. He has his own sponsorships. He has his own deals. He has his own connections. And he's talking about, we're going to record this EP. We're going to put 3 of the songs. We're going to push for radio play. We're going to shoot 3 music videos. We're going to go to Nashville and shoot 3 music videos. And then we got a tour bus we're going to purchase. Now, he showed me the tour bus. It's like brand new. And I'm like, this dude for real, right? This could be real. This could be it. I could make it. I could blow up, right? Now, the whole time, though, in the back of my mind, I'm like, is this what I really want? And little by little, what I begin to see is they wanted me to start to become someone that I wasn't, right? It wasn't that they asked me to do anything I'm not comfortable with. It wasn't that they told me to quit talking about Jesus in my raps. It wasn't that, they tried to change my appearance. You got to cut your hair. Or what? It wasn't that. It was just they wanted me to be who they had a cookie cutter image of who they wanted, right? And I couldn't fit that mold. So basically they wanted me to switch who I was, begin to perform with a band. So it'd be more like hip rock, or hip hop with a live band instead of over beats. And I was like, I'll try it. I'm not opposed to the idea. That's not really my thing, you know what I'm saying? But I'll try it. And over time, little by little, what I begin to realize is like, this is just not me. It's not who I am. I'm not fazed by crowds. I'm not fazed. They were saying we're going to try to get you into all these festivals, music festivals, and perform in front of thousands of people. I was like, that's not, I'm not fazed by that. I done rapped in front of 2 people. I done rapped in front of a couple thousand. It's not the crowds that's, it's not the idea of blowing up that's scaring me away. What it really boils down to is like, is this who I am and this who I want to be, right? Do I want to change my whole style of music just to make it, right? Do I want to become hip rock just to make it? Do I want to change the way that I flow? Because then they wanted to kind of change the flow, right? Little by little, they started wanting to add in or take away things. They wanted to either take away things in my music or add things in. Which isn't always bad, right? I'm not saying that I'm a perfect rapper. There's no critiques needed to be made. There's nothing that could be taken out or added to make it better. I'm not saying that. But the feeling that I was getting was more controlling, right? And that these type of people were people who were not used to someone telling them no. And the one thing that's always been a staple in my life is I'm going to be who I'm going to be, who God called me to be. And I'm not going to change that. So I've turned down job offers. I've turned down opportunities like the one I'm describing because I said, look, I know who I'm called to be. I know the vision that I have for my life, for my music, for my ministry, for my family, for the outreaches and ministry that I do. And I'm not going to settle for anything less than that, what I believe God birthed inside of me. And so basically one day I had to meet with these people and I said, look, I appreciate the offer. I appreciate the interest that you have in me. It encourages me to know that someone of your caliber would potentially offer me a record deal, take me on tour, on a brand new tour bus and all of these things. But I'm going to have to pass because you guys are asking me to be someone I can't be. And I'm not going to change who I am just for a record deal. And so, you know, some people might say that was stupid. Some people might say that was foolish. Some people might say that put an end to my music career. Whatever it is, you know, like. But the reality is, like, I'm okay with what I do. I'm okay with where I'm at in life. If I only do, 5-10 shows a year, so be it, man. My goal is to impact a person's life with much more than just jumping up and down at a concert, right? One of my favorite rappers, Seven, he got a line, he says, I hope you do more than dance around and sing to kids, right? If all your mission is in your music is to get people to dance and sing and feel good, hey, there's nothing against that, right? Everyone loves feel good, uppity concert type music, workout music, whatever. But my purpose in music is much deeper than that. I'm trying to reach to a person's heart and soul through stories, right? So I'm a storyteller. But at the end of the day, I don't live for other people's approval. That's me being secure in who I'm called to be. That's me being secure in and confident in who I feel like I am, right? And so I'm able to say, look, this is a great opportunity. And there was times where I said, I sat and thought, man, maybe that was my chance to blow up. But then again, God always reminds me, like, the goal was never to blow up, right? The goal has never been to just blow up. If that happens, so be it, right? But that's not the goal. That's not the basis for why I make music. I make music. You know how I started making music? There's two things that happened. My brother Daniel, who's in prison, got me into rapping. Number two, it was therapeutic. I used to write raps for years before I ever shared them with anyone. Right? And now I can share through my life and through my stories. Hopefully it can touch someone else. But when I had told these people, look, I'm going to have to turn this record deal down, or this potential record deal. The dude didn't understand it. He was a person who you could tell he wasn't used to people telling him no. And maybe he had never seen someone forsake or give up this type of opportunity. And I said, look, it's nothing against y'all. I just feel like y'all are asking me to be someone. You're trying to change me, right? And I can't do that. I have to stay true to who I am and who I'm called to be. And he said, okay. At first, he said, okay, I understand and respect that. And then after a couple of weeks, kept hitting me up, TJ, do you realize the opportunity that you're passing up? Do you realize passing this up will mean that you might always just be a local artist? We're trying to make you a national artist, right? I said, and if you pass this opportunity up, there may never be another opportunity like this. And I said, look, I've taken all that into consideration, and at the end of the day, I had to be true to who I am. And again, I appreciate the offer, but that's just not who I am. And with that, that's what it was, And so I felt like sharing that. It's a good time to share that, I feel like. I don't know how many people know that story. The people closest to me know about that, but, And I feel like now, this was a couple of years ago, right? But I feel like now I'm making the best music I've ever made, right? I got about 15, 20 songs in the cut nobody's heard. And I feel like ever since I've been able to branch out, teach myself how to record myself, mix, master, mess around with Pro Tools, I'm making the best music I've ever made. And I know that my legacy is going to live on because I know what God's called me to. I know that my life touches other people. It's not for me to brag. It's for me to encourage you that there's a calling on your life if you're watching this. And the impact you can have on people is invaluable. But I'm not gonna trade that just for a record deal, right? Just to be more famous, just to get more likes, just to make more money. That's not the mission. All of that is secondary, right? Our identity is in Christ. Our identity is in the fact that we were dead in sin. And because of what Jesus did, not just dying on a cross, but raising again, beating death, sin, and the grave, we are a new creation. And that is where our identity lies. Ministry is secondary. Music career, secondary. Money, accumulation, wealth, materialism, impact, legacy, all that is secondary. And what is primary is the fact that we are in Christ. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all, man. And I do got a new EP coming out. It's called See the Light. I'm hoping to drop it on my birthday, January 9th. So if you listening to this and you support me, I would ask that you would buy that album when it drops on my birthday. Lord willing, it's gonna drop. I'm working with DistroKid to try to get it distributed in time. But more music will be on the way. More podcasts. This is the Morning Sun Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Two Braids. This is on Facebook Live. From there to go to YouTube, Spotify, Anchor FM. We're going to have a guest on the next show. His name's Riley Carpenter, and he's a solid young dude. Not sure what we're all going to talk about, but he's very intellectual. He's funny. It'll be a really good time. With that, man, I hope y'all Sunday's going good. I hope you have a great Christmas. Be forgiving. Be loving. I know there's all of us who will probably, have some type of family issue. Family drama. Maybe there's people you don't like in your family that you'll see this time of year. Be loving, be forgiving. Right? Don't be angry. Don't have animosity or resentment. Or maybe you've lost people and the holidays is hard because, like for me, my mom's not here. My brother in prison. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be around the dinner table with us, laughing, playing games. So have joy, have peace. I pray that you rest. I'm looking forward to some days off. You know what I'm saying? Where I can just relax, watch some movies. My plan is to spend more time with my kids, watch the 3 Hobbit movies, right? Eat, make hot cocoa, make Christmas cookies with my wife. Enjoy rest. Even God rested after he created everything. He rested. Rest is important. So I pray that you have a blessed holiday, that you rest, you get refreshed. And yeah, man, if you like this video, please like it, comment, share it. Thank you for the support. Man, y'all have a good night. I'm out of here. Peace.